everyone for signing in. Really appreciate it. Gonna kick it back to Tonya for a story.
I'm so excited to be with you all here today. I just wanted to share a bit about like why I'm here and why I'm in this fight. I grew up in the mountains of Northern California. This is like a huge part of my identity, and I love that place so much. And I grew up in this like really tiny town in the mountains of Northern California, and I grew up like being outside every day and like swimming in rivers and lakes and like loving trees and like the outdoors. And I just like growing up, I didn't have very many like neighbors, and my school was really small, and there was like this one road to get to any like supermarket or mall, and it was like 2 hours away from my house to get to anywhere that was like of any importance, because I lived in a really rural area. And there were like lakes and these rolling hills that I would see every time I would like go out of my town and on this road. And it's really hard for me to get back to Northern California. I mean, as you can see, I'm pretty far from home right now. But even when I'm in California, it's like 6 hours to get from anywhere that's like special California to where I used to live. And so when I have the opportunity to go up there and visit my dad who still lives there, I take that opportunity. So last summer around Labor Day, my sister said that she was going to be going up there for the weekend to visit my dad. So I was like, hell yeah, like I'll meet you in San Francisco and we'll drive up together. And I was really excited. But I was also really nervous to go back up there, because this would be the first time that I was visiting my home again after the car fire. And I know a lot of people have heard of the Camp Fire that ravaged Paradise and Chico area. But there were so many fires in California last year. About 1.8 million acres of forest and homes were burned to the ground, and that is record-breaking. That has never happened in California before. And like I grew up there, and like fire season is something that we're really used to, and like I remember smelling smoke like every summer, but this was unprecedented. And the car fire burned like 300,000 acres on this road that I used to go on like once a week to get home. And I was really nervous to go back and see it, because I knew it was gonna like really break my heart. But I wanted to see my family, right? So my sister and I drive up together, and we start getting into Redding, California, and Shasta County. We're coming up on the summit that we have to take to get home, and we start to see where the burn happened. And we're looking out for like these landmarks that I've known my whole life, like a family friend's house that's like right next to the road, and this lookout point that's like on this really beautiful lake called Whiskeytown Lake. And we're looking around and just like in shock. We're not even really talking about it. Just like in awe of just this darkness that used to be forest. And we drive past like 5 minutes past like where that family friend's house used to be, and like I don't even realize that we have driven past it, because I don't even recognize this place. And we're driving through, and I'm feeling so much fear and anger, and like I'm an environmental studies major, and like I learn about environmental degradation like every day at school, right? Like I'm used to this feeling of like sadness and anger, right? But for the first time, I feel this so viscerally, because I see it in my home, and I know that my dad evacuated because of this fire, and I know that he might have to evacuate again, and I just I look around, and I know that these rolling hills, thousands of acres that are just like darkness now, are because fossil fuel executives have like given money to politicians and bought out and like sold out our future, right? And I'm feeling this anger, but I can't talk about it with my sister. Like we're just in shock. I'm not even like crying or like really saying anything at this point. And I hold all those emotions inside me for months. I didn't even know what Sunrise was at this point. I'm just like holding that inside, and I never felt comfortable like talking about it with my loved ones. And I think we do this a lot. We see disasters and we normalize it. We see them and we're like, okay, like just like me and my sister did. We were like, okay, this is where we live now. Like this is normal, and we don't grieve. And I didn't get the chance to channel that anger and terror that I felt until I found this community. I remember sitting in my living room in Philly with my community of Sunrisers and grieving this loss for the first time. And like looking around at the faces of people like you who let me cry about it for hours. And that's why I'm here and I'm with you all, because this is the community that we need as disasters intensify. Because we're gonna see things like this more and more and more often, and we need each other to hold those feelings and that anger and that pain. So that's why I'm fighting for a Green New Deal. Because I know that we need the Green New Deal on the national level, but we also need it at the state level. We need governors. We need governors like Raimondo to stop taking money from fossil fuel corporations. We cannot have another politician taking $500,000 from fossil fuel corporations or fossil fuel executives. We can't afford to let that happen anymore. So I'm so grateful to be here with you all and to fight for a Green New Deal by your side. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Tonya. That was so beautiful. I'm gonna lead us in a song now. Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how
God